what a transformation has occurred since I was last in this building. That was just 3 months ago during alumni weekend, and this space was primarily concrete wires and lighting. I think the steps were here, but there was no carpeting, nothing. To be looking now at what has become this lovely auditorium, theater, lecture hall venue is truly amazing. Hi everyone, I'm Jane France. I'm president of the Clarion University Foundation Board of Directors. And I'm your MC for the formal ribbon cutting today. First, I want to say thanks to all of you for coming to this very special birthday party. Today marks the 148th anniversary of the founding of Carrier Seminary of Western Pennsylvania, forerunner of the Clarion State Normal School, and eventually today's Clarion University. As a celebration, we are having the official grand opening of Suites on Main. We are currently sitting in the North Building, where resident students began moving in late last month. The South Building across the street will be ready for occupancy by December for the semester that begins in January of 2016. In your program is a list of fast and I think some fun facts about this Suites project, a concept that had its beginning back in 2009. Really, who knew this would be a plumber's paradise with over 50 miles of piping between the two buildings? But I want to go back a bit farther than 2009 to give you my reflections on how forward-thinking the Foundation, Clarion, and the university have become in adapting to changing social, economic, and student preferences. 44 years ago, this fall, I was entering my last semester at Clarion State College. You do the math. That's when dinosaurs were roaming the earth. I was graduating a semester early, hoping to get a running start on the job market with my Bachelor of Arts degree in mathematics. This was 1971. We had no air conditioning in the dorms, flat screen TVs, the internet, email, PCs, iPods, iPads, satellite radio, smartphones, and all the technology we take for granted today were years and even decades away. Heck, there weren't even any affordable handheld calculators on the market to help me in my math classes. But life was good. I lived in Nair Hall, which was a state-of-the-art dorm at the time, being built in 1969. I lived on the 6th floor of 7, and if the airwaves were properly aligned, and it was a clear night, and I was in the right spot, close to a window, I could catch the Pirates and Penguin games on AM radio. That was exciting for me. The Pirates were in the National League pennant race, on their way to a World Series appearance and eventual victory. And hopefully the same scenario will play out this year for the Pirates. All of us have come a long way since 1971. And as I look across the street, which I can't do right now, but as I looked across the street at Nair Hall, I have a bit of nostalgic regret. But the action is necessary to keep Clarion in step with the times. And speaking of changing with the times, did you know that the #1 Billboard hit in the fall of 1971 was Maggie May by Rod Stewart? Now there's someone else that knows how to change with the times. I didn't know back in 1971 how much I would come to embrace this town and my university. So I want to recognize all of the people that helped Clarion move forward, and especially those with the vision to have these Suites on Main come to fruition. This was truly an example of public and private cooperation with participation by local, state, and federal governments, private and public companies, students, trustees, university and foundation staff, and many, many other individuals. There are too many people to cite one by one, so we've listed many of their organizations in the program and take this opportunity to formally thank them today. But I would be remiss if I didn't shout out a huge well done to Michael Kiefer, CEO of Clarion University Foundation, who lived and I think slept with his hard hat on through the last 16 months monitoring every detail of the construction since groundbreaking occurred in May of 2014. Michael and I were talking last week about how exciting this event would be. And he said, and now it is real. So let's proceed with these real-time festivities. The first person I'd like to introduce is Dr. Karen Whitney, who you all know as Clarion University's president. Karen is in her 6th year at the helm, and it was she who made one of the priorities of this project to meld together the university and the community on this end of Main Street. Karen.
Thank you, Jane. And let me say that, I'm trying to use technology here. I hate it when it goes to default, but let me do this. This is a big thank you. This is one of those moments that you work like heck, again, like you said, 16 months, and this is a party. I mean, you all are invited to a 148th birthday party, as well as actually this facility's been open since, I believe it was August 24th. Is that right, Michelle? Yeah. And so this is an opening of kind of like the christening of the newest baby on board and a 148th birthday party. So let me do some thank yous, but before that, let me make it very clear as president why this is important to Clarion University, because I don't want to lose sight in the thank yous and the accolades of a job well done in offering an extremely well-built facility, a facility that is state-of-the-art, and those of you who are the numbers geeks in business or accounting or finance, one beautifully exquisite approach to public partnering relationships that really allowed us to offer the most affordable rents to our students. But before I go into those thank yous, what I want to do is talk about briefly at this grand opening of this newest housing on our Founders Day, that the vision of this new student housing is providing an exceptional collegiate living learning experience that will inspire our students to attend Clarion University and succeed at Clarion University. That is our compass. And as community members and members of the university community, or anyone else who's here in different capacities, I have to say that is it. It is to inspire people to attend university, to attend Clarion, and succeed and graduate in much the same way Jane has done all these years from when she was here and all that you've accomplished in your life. That is what I want for each of our incoming students, who, by the way, are this year's incoming, believe it or not, is the class of 2019. So it's about community. It's designed all around student success. It is a mixed-use facility of residential above and retail and commercial around, but that is at its core. At its core also, wrapped around that is the community. For Clarion is what I call a communiversity. It's a community and a university meld together. And I think it's perfectly appropriate as we're coming on our 150th that we embrace the community by placing this most precious experience and asset right on our beloved Main Street. It is all intentional to build both up together, because we rise together, you all, or we fall together. And actually we rise well. When I think about when the seminary was established in 1867, just 2 years after the Civil War, those were the real hard times. Today, not so much. Today, we got stuff we got to work on, but that can't be the hard times. So we're poised, we're doing well, and this is a day to celebrate. This morning, we celebrate the accomplishments of our employees who've worked from 5 to 35 years here at the university. We had a large event at Gamble with several hundred people celebrating the accomplishments of those lifetimes of service. We're here at our opening of our newest housing and most exciting multi-use project. And then this evening, you've got to know, I'm going to invite everybody to the football game tonight. It's our first home game against Millersville, and I've been guaranteed that we're going to beat the heck out of Millersville. We're going to have a great time there, and in fact, the band has new uniforms. So whether you like band or you like football, you like both, there's every reason to be there at 6 o'clock at the stadium. But that's Clarion, being so many things to so many people. But it is about the learning and the inspiring of student success. It is also about the thanks. And this really is, and I know we're going to have representatives from our government sector speaking, but I will say, because I'm often very critical of government and how it doesn't work, today in this project is an example of where government did work. That the partnership with the USDA, that our state economic development agency, our university private foundation, our students who pay rent to live here, that helps provide for the operational and debt service on this project. It all makes it work together. It is truly a large tent, multi-dimensional project that has made this very successful and very worthwhile and a huge benefit and boom to this community. So I have many thanks. You can see it here in front. What I want to do, because oftentimes the folks who don't have the fanciest titles often work the hardest. And you did mention Michael Kiefer and all his work with the foundation. I do have to shout out on Jane and her courage. Our tagline is Courageous, Confident Clarion. It takes a lot of confidence for a board to back a project like this. And I want to note that and thank that today to our foundation board. I want to note and thank that actually this project took the leadership of not one vice president for student affairs, but two vice presidents for student affairs. We have the first vice president for student affairs, Harry Tripp. Raise your hand here. He retired in January, and Harry's come back. And now we have a new vice president of student affairs, Dr. Susan Fensky, who's back there hiding by the balloons, and housing reports to the vice president for student affairs, because our housing program is really the foundational experience, co-curricular experience through our residence life programs and our residence life staff that really supports particularly our freshmen and sophomores to their success here at Clarion University. So this isn't simply housing for a clean, safe, comfortable place to sleep. This is a place of engagement and learning, and I wanted to point that out. So thank you, Harry. Thank you, Dr. Fensky, for all your work. Also, thank you to Chad Thomas, Director of Auxiliary Operations, Michelle Keeley-Harbo, Director of Residence Life Services. So for today, see, we're going to do the ribbon cutting, and then we all go get back to our jobs. These guys carry it forward. They're staying, and they're the ones that are going to, they and their teams, mainly of students. Students will be running. They'll be running the theater, students will be running the residence halls, and they make it work. They make it the quality that it is. Again, a shout out to the foundation, a shout out to WTW Architects. I mean, they had the vision, they were the artists that could conceptualize the space, to Mystic Construction. And what you all don't know is actually about 100 yards that way I live in the President's house. I know they work 7 days a week, and I happen to know they start at 7:01 a.m. 7 days a week, okay? I lived the construction experience. You guys did a lot, and you did a lot of overtime. I'm going to stop because I know more folks have a lot more important things to say than I do, but as the president, I'm grateful for this facility. I'm grateful for the opportunity that this facility and these programs will allow us to serve, and I'm grateful that we can serve the community, not just through this theater, but Stage 2 is going to open to the public in January, and that will allow us to house more students. It'll allow our retail services through our existing bookstore, our existing Starbucks, and a new food service outlet, the Den at Denny's, provided by to occur on Main Street to benefit all. Those are very exciting times and opportunities for our community. So, go Eagles!
Thanks, Karen. Next we'll hear from Tyler Kitzmiller, who I met today. He took me on a tour of this building. So if you have not yet had a tour, I encourage you to go see the rest of what's been created here. Tyler is a junior at Clarion, and he's chairman of the Clarion Student Association. And I think he can provide some pretty good commentary on the impact that the suites have had on the student body. Tyler.
Thank you, Jane. And thank you all for joining us today for the grand opening of these suites on Main North. As a student, this is a pretty exciting time at Clarion. We're not only getting a brand new suite-style housing option, but also several other services that are going to be provided in these suites on Main buildings that Dr. Whitney just mentioned. In the South building that opens in the spring, there's a new Denny's dining option, as well as the relocation of the bookstore and Starbucks to the South building. And here in the North building, in this very room, we have our very own movie theater. So to say this is an exciting time to be a student is really an understatement. The thing that I keep asking though is, why couldn't this have happened 5 or 6 years ago? Then I could have enjoyed it at least. But they obviously weren't thinking about me alone when they were doing the planning. I also have the opportunity of speaking today on behalf of the Clarion Students Association, known as CSA, which is the organization that oversees the distribution and spending of the activity fee that our students pay. CSA has gladly taken on the responsibility of handling the movie programming that's going to be occurring here in the University Theater. And we're kicking off our movie programming actually tonight with the showing of Inside Out, and this weekend with shows being shown on Thursday, Friday, and an afternoon matinee on Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, with an afternoon matinee on Sunday, excuse me. And this will be provided throughout the semester and throughout the school year and for years to come. CSA is also going to be operating the concession stand, which you may have seen outside the theater here, where you can all get all your movie time favorite snacks. On behalf of the CSA board and the CSA office, I can tell you we're very excited about this new service that we'll be able to provide to our students as well as the Clarion community. Our mission for CSA as an organization is to provide services that enhance student and community life. And we are proud that we can offer this type of programming because it allows us to continue fulfilling our mission as an organization. Again, thank you all for attending this very special occasion, and I hope that you all join us back here throughout the years to enjoy the movies being offered here in the theater, as well as the services being offered in the South Building when they open. Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler. And you still have 2 more years to enjoy all of this. 1 year, okay. You are a junior?
Grad student.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I was going to correct you.
I have misinformation.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
They grow up fast.
Next up is Erin Morris, Special Projects Coordinator of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, based in Washington. It's important to note that Clarion was the recipient of a $45 million loan from the USDA for the Sweets project. The loan was made at such a favorable rate and in such magnitude that we were able to pass the numbers crunching tests vital to making the project a go. Erin came up from Washington yesterday and drove to Clarion from Pittsburgh this morning? Last night? Yesterday. So, welcome, Erin.
Thank you, Jane. What a wonderful facility this is. I got to take the tour not too long ago. I have to be honest, I've never seen a dormitory nicer than this one in my entire life. I know many of us who when we were in college, this ain't how it used to be. You know? So this is a wonderful facility. USDA Rural Development, we are so proud to be able to partner with Clarion to bring this community, you know, this dormitory facility. I mean, USDA, if you see it in the background, we are committed to the future of rural communities. And projects like this are really game changers for a community like this and game changers for the university. So, Dr. Whitney, Jane, thank you for your vision, your leadership, bringing this project together. I want to thank a number of our partners who work with us to bring this project across the finish line. Too many of you to thank individually, but we really appreciate it. I mean, USDA, we provide the financing, but we're not in this alone. So I want to thank all of our partners who were able to partner with us and bring this project across the finish line. Lastly, I need to thank our local staff here in Pennsylvania, our USDA Rural Development staff. Mick Ward, Community Programs Director here in Pennsylvania, your staff, thank you very much. They don't want to be recognized, but I'm going to recognize them. So Mick, if you want to stand up really quick, I got you, buddy. But thank you, Mick and his staff. You know, I just get to come up and stand up and get to speak, but they're the ones who are doing all of the hard work. You know, it takes a lot to put together a $45 million loan. And this is what we're doing all across the country, whether it's dormitories like this, whether it's hospitals, whether it's new school buildings. This is what we do. So, of course, you know, Mayor, you want to, you know, continue to work with us at USDA. You got any other projects that you want to work on? You know, we're open for business. You got more projects, Dr. Whitney? Well, we're open for business. So, again, thank you. We're very proud to partner with you all, and I'm just very excited to be here today. So thank you all very much.
Thanks, Erin, and I think we'll accumulate a number of ideas for future projects and get back to you. Wayne Brocious, our next speaker, is a Clarion native and a Clarion grad. He's worked at local radio stations for over 25 years. Wayne has been chairman of the Clarion County Commissioners since 2012, so he has been in on the project since the groundbreaking. Wayne.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Jane. Appreciate it. She mentioned earlier that Maggie May by Rod Stewart was one of the top songs when you went to school here. Okay. I went to school here too a little later. I think the top song at the time was Infatuation by Rod Stewart. I don't know that he... Yeah. But I don't know that he ever clarified in the second song whether the infatuation was with Maggie May or not, but never did figure that out. I'd like to welcome everybody here today. We had worked in partnership with Michael and the foundation and Jane on this project, signing off on the USDA loans, the county did. So I'd like to thank also Butch Campbell and Greg Fowler, the other two commissioners who are also here with us today. I'm speaking on behalf of all three of us. The building is fantastic looking. When I went to school here, when you came into a room like this, you had to listen to a professor in front of you. So to come in and have a movie screen here, this is phenomenal. And the location is just fantastic, right next to the buildings. I can remember back in the 80s, I was a commuter, so I had to park somewhere and then walk to Stillwell. But now, from here, all you get to do is walk there and you're there. I remember one day in particular, it was like 30 degrees below zero, and my old winter jacket, which was made of plastic at that time, with like some cheap stuffing, was cracking. It was so cold. So I definitely have a little bit of envy for the students who are residing here today. The building just looks fantastic, and I hope it does the plan and attracts more students here, because we need more students here in Clarion, and we thank everybody for attending today. And stick around for the ribbon cutting. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne. J. David Walters, who I introduced myself to today, and I said, "Do they really call you Dude?" And he said, "Yes." So, Dude is also a Clarion native and worked for Alcoa for more than 25 years. Volunteering has been Dave's calling, as he has previously served on Clarion Borough Council and as president of that council. He is currently mayor of Clarion. So, welcome.
Thank you. It's just a great day here in Clarion, Founders Day, have this open house. You couldn't ask for a better day for the community of Clarion, and every time me and Karen's ever met, it is a community. I think back growing up here in Clarion, and some of you were around. I mean, not to age myself, but you know, I've been here since I was 3 years old, so 50 years. I took a little hiatus for about 8 years, going away and being around different places, but I got back here. And I think back to when this was all houses going down this road. I was here before Margaret Boyd and Tippin and a lot of those places. And the expansion is just unbelievable. And if you're not going forward, you're really going backwards. And boy, today I can see a tremendous thing of going forward in the Clarion community. And hopefully we can continue this spirit and keep going forward. I look back, and my great-grandfather went to Clarion Normal School after World War I. And if he was alive today, he would probably just be amazed at the transformation. And again, it's not only the retail aspect of what the college brings to the community, it's the community aspects. I think of the culture, the plays, the students participating in the local communities, you know, the fitness classes that you offer the community, the camps. I mean, there's just so much. And sitting here and being around this theater today, it just keeps getting better and better. And right now, to be mayor of Clarion's got to be one of my prouder moments, because we're going forward again. And this is just the start. So thank you.
I'm sure each of us here can appreciate the perspectives that the speakers has given today. And now I think we're ready to move outside for the official ribbon cutting.